second.
That's so cringe.
1 second.
And clap.
Shush.
Bye, Alfie.
Bye, Alfie.
Bye,
Have a nice,
guys.
have a good,
Great pod.
have a good Formula One pod.
Yeah, I might have a quick shower. But
There we don't. The shower's broken.
Oh, well,
Remember,
then,
have a quick bath.
She's going to have a quick morning bath.
Set you up for the day. Okay.
Ooh.
Here we go.
Here we go. God, we're both
Have you
feeling
pressed record,
good.
Alfie?
Yes.
You did press record
On what?
on the camera.
Let's do a little idiot check, shall we?
And did you press record on my phone?
No, that's a good point.
Good. Okay, good. Because I can't move now.
That's recording.
That's recording.
That's recording. That's recording.
Thank you. Love you.
Love you. Bye.
Thank you.
Oh, so today is a Monday morning.
Monday morning.
Alfie's about to have his Monday morning bath.
He's about to have his Monday morning, get ready for the day, be your
This is so-
glowiest best self bath.
It's only because our shower's broken. It's been broken now for 5 days.
Oh, that sucks.
It's really annoying.
Although, I gotta say, sometimes I can easily go without a fucking shower for 5 days. 5 days can go incredibly quickly if you're somebody that doesn't have body odor naturally like me.
Well, exactly. But I just like having a shower.
I like having
I
a
could
shower
have 2
too.
showers a day if I could.
Sure, maybe. Some days it's a shower day.
Yeah.
But some days it's a nice shower day. Some days it's a nice shower day.
But we are going to talk today about death.
Lovely.
We want to talk about death. I want to talk about death mainly because I just think, given that we are, in that club now,
Yeah.
I don't think we've ever spoken in a light-hearted way just about who we were before in regards to death. Mm-hmm. Because I never thought about it. Did you?
No. I thought about other people dying potentially, but I never thought about my own mortality, and that's what has really, really changed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I think, I think it's just like a lot easier now to conceptualize the idea of it all just stopping suddenly. You know, my own death, and therefore my own life has become a much more kind of easy thing for me to see and think about. Whereas I think before, it was like, oh, well, I'm just going to live forever. You know, you have this endless time to do everything, and everything's in the future and all this kind of stuff. Everything is so much more like chained down to the present now, because it was in the present moment that we found out this person is gone, you know? So, yeah, what about you?
No, I don't think about my death. I don't care about my death.
Really?
Yeah, I only think about the people I love dying almost constantly.
Okay,
To
well, you're a
such-
better person than me.
No, to such a degree that it's kind of crippling, because I live each day like one of us could die any second, because that's what happened with us. So with our brother. So yeah, but in terms of my own death, that almost makes me feel relieved. I when I think about it in a selfish way, I just kind of, oh great, well then I don't have to worry anymore. I don't have to worry about everyone.
Yeah,
so it's
it
actually
is like-
more selfish in a way.
Yeah, but, you know, it's true, because if you think about it that way, it is like, well, you know, you're not going to have to do any chores after. It certainly is a big end to your to-do list.
Yes, exactly. But I constantly worry that I am so bad at admin.
Yeah.
Like, I don't read mail. I don't know anything. All I know is if there's money in my account or if there's not.
Yeah.
That's the only admin thing I know. Mm-hmm. And so what I'm worried about is seeing how much admin our mum does.
Yeah.
And thinking, oh my God. Because obviously I'm not thinking about her dying, but I'm thinking one day I'm going to be the matriarch of the family.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have to do all the admin.
No.
I'm going to have to do all the admin.
No.
I don't want to do the admin.
That's a horrible thought.
Exactly. You're going to be the matriarch one day and you're
No.
going to do admin.
No.
Admin.
No.
You're going to have to know what water company you use.
Oh my God. I actually do pay my own water bill, and I do that.
Yeah, of course you pay your own water. I know I pay for them, but I didn't really set them up.
I set up my own Thames Water account.
That is pretty amazing.
I know.
That is pretty
That's
amazing.
that's the only one that I
I've
did
never
up
set
myself.
up, this is just very embarrassing. I've never set up a utility. Even though we've moved house 9 times, I just
You get flustered.
I just can't
My
do
mum
it.
has to do it
I
for
can't do it. And Alfie's good at doing it eventually, but he does let it stack up. But he's much better at admin than me. So I'm glad that I'm now with someone who at least can confront it occasionally.
Yeah.
And I always feel like, oh, that's really manly. You just looked at a bill.
Also, what I found is whenever you are setting up like official accounts or like council tax, or anytime you go on one of those websites which you dread for ages, but when you finally do it, it's actually never as bad.
It's never as bad.
Because they phrase things really easy to understand.
And they're so nice.
And they're so nice. And the gov.uk website, which I'm on a lot, you know, they're lovely. Very understandable people.
Yeah.
You know?
Because even
They
things...
break it down for you.
Well, even stuff like my direct debits for... like council tax and stuff, I seem to always have a problem where it doesn't go, I don't know, it's just like there's always something that goes wrong with me in admin.
Yeah.
And that's why I have a phobia of it now.
Yeah. And that's, yeah, exactly. Because, yeah, I completely get that.
So that's my main worry with me dying, is who's going to do all my admin for me, and I don't want to like load someone up with that. Like the thought of Margot having to do chores for me once I've died. I think that's the cruelest part of death, and mainly sudden death, is that what is left behind is so chaotic.
Yes.
You just suddenly are left with everything, and not only the grief, but now you have to do all of the wading through of the pieces of paper and the, like, some people must have to go through awful kind of
Oh, yeah. I mean,
piles of things.
I met the summer after it happened. We went to Edinburgh, obviously. Fateful trip. And when I was there, I met up with a boy who I had met the previous year, and we'd become friends. Very vague friends, but he was just a really lovely person. And we decided to go for coffee. And when we met, we started talking. I ended up telling him about what had happened, and he was so lovely and kind and empathetic and understanding. And it wasn't until like way into the conversation that I asked him about his family, and he only had his mum. And he told me that she had died suddenly that year from, I think, some kind of like random virus that she got. And he was left to sort out everything, to have to sell her flats, to have to go through all of her furniture. This is like a 21-year-old guy. And I couldn't believe it. I mean, he had this kindness that just shone out of him, but also clearly this tiredness, because you don't get to be 21 anymore if you have to do that kind of stuff.
No. Yeah, that's how.
And he desperately needed to sell the flat in order to pay for something or other. And oh my God, it was just the most stressful. And it really, really, because I was talking about my stuff and I was like, God, has anyone ever been in such a bad position as me? You know, like when you're in that state of mind. And then hearing him, it was like immediate dose of perspective. Oh, fuck, it could be worse.
Yeah.
It could be so much worse.
Yeah. I think also the fact that he was on his own. I'm just going to put him on my boob. Wait. The fact that he was... I won't speak. It's not recording. Oh, it is recording. It is. Okay, I'm just getting him onto my boob. One second. You can just say Jessie's getting him onto the boob.
Jessie just getting him onto the boob, everyone. Apologies.
Got him on the
Yeah, boob is connected.
Please stay connected.
Bluetooth connected. Boob tooth connected. He doesn't have teeth yet, so
Thank God.
phew. Woo!
Yeah.
But yeah, the fact that he was on his own.
The fact that he was on his own, I think for us, the grief is kind of split so many ways. We have our own grief for Ben, and then I have my grief for you, for Ben. I have my grief for Robbie and for our dad and for our mum and for everyone who knew Ben. It's all split so many ways, and it just is loaded and loaded and loaded and loaded now.
It's not just like one person died, because we all had our different impression of Ben.
Yeah.
So our own individual Ben for each of us died.
Exactly.
Which is like 7 people, plus then you have everyone surrounding. It's just, and yeah, I completely get what you mean, because every time I look at Jamie, I'm like, you've lost.
I didn't say Jamie, and Jamie.
Yeah, but you know, you've lost like your confidant when you guys were growing up. When I look at Robbie, it's like, you know, you're the oldest of all of us. Like it's so complicated.
Yeah.
And
it's almost, I felt angry at the beginning with that, because my version of Ben isn't your version. I have completely different memories. I mean, it's known that, you know, our childhoods, you can have different childhoods despite growing up in the same house. And so we have different emotions about things and reflections. And I think at the funeral, I found it really upsetting that people who I didn't know, who knew a completely different Ben, and I would be just like, but I don't want to talk about that Ben because that wasn't my Ben. So don't come up and tell me who Ben was. That's not who he was.
Yeah.
And that's not fair of me because obviously they had their relationship with him. But that's one of the hardest things, I think. That's one of the things I found hardest.
Yeah, because once the person is gone, the only people that have control over the narrative are the people that are still here. You know, that person doesn't get to stand up for themselves and say, hey, no, that was an older version of me. Or like, oh, that was when I was going through my weird emo phase.
Yeah, and I'm like that with that person because of this.
And it makes me think about if I were to die tomorrow, I actually sometimes think about this. I'm like, what would people judge of me if they found what's in my flat? Like, you know, what would their impression of me be? Not that I've got anything bad going on in there, but is it a day when I've done all of my washing up and, like, my clothes are all neat and folded and, you know, I've got, like, a whimsical book lying open on the table and they would walk in and they'd be like, oh, my God, she was just this breath of spring in the prime of our life? Or would it be one of the days where I've been surviving with 1 teaspoon because I decided not to wash up any of my stuff and my clothes are literally spread all over the floor and I've got like a giant Wotsits packet, like crumbs on my bed, and then they walk in and be like, wow, she really wasn't looking after herself.
Yeah, I think that about my diaries. Just like if people could go through them. And they what are they for other than for things for people to go through when I die?
Yeah, do you think that every time that you write a diary or a journal entry, does a little part of you think, wow, when somebody reads this, they're going to think I'm so fucking deep?
No, I don't think that at all. And I'm good at not having that self editing bit when I do a diary. It's just me. I'm not worrying about who's going to see this one day.
Even though somebody else will definitely one day see it.
Yeah.
Unless you, like, destroy it.
Well, that's what I was going to say about Joan Bakewell. She was on the One Show, obviously, my favourite show. Still haven't been asked on it. And
unbelievable travesty of British media.
If they just knew how much I love the One Show, maybe they would let me on as just some kind of fan. I think I'm going to send in all the videos I've got of Donnie and Margot going, what? Anyway, so Joan Bakewell was on talking about the fact that she also keeps a diary religiously. And when she was fighting with her husband, John, I'm not going to say his surname. I think it's Mortimer, but I'm not going to say that just in case it's not Mortimer. I just said it. They would fight and they would get back together and break up and get back together and break up. And she was always a religious diary keeper. And then once when they were fighting, she wanted to really show him that that was it. They were broken up. And so she got her diary and she said, and I don't even want any trace of you. And threw it into the fire, thinking, oh, this will make him see that I am really done. Our history is done. But the diary just put out the fire, and it didn't, and it didn't burn. And she took that as a sign that they were going to stay together.
That's beautiful.
I think it's lovely. So I don't mind if people read my diaries because, and she said that she wouldn't want her children to read the diaries or her daughter to read the diaries because you talk a lot in your diaries about how parenting is quite difficult and shit and, oh, no one's come to see me or, oh, my daughter did this and that's not true of your love for them. You know, it's just you complaining and venting and that's what a diary is for. So
exactly.
I think hopefully if people did read my diaries, they would know that it's me venting rather than my actual truth.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if I'm not a religious diary keeper, but recently I've been trying to just do something called mood charting, which is like about writing a number 1 to 10 and then like just describing one thing that's happened that morning, afternoon or evening. And sometimes it'll be really nice and then sometimes it'll be like really negative. But it's not because I necessarily feel that way. It's because it's just a way of getting it out of your system.
Yeah, and tracking why you feel a certain way.
Yeah, and also when you have a really negative thought, writing it down, it helps you to see how silly that thought is. And I definitely didn't utilise that at all in the 3 years that have happened since Ben. I didn't really express myself in any kind of way, writing down-wise. You're so much better than that at me. And something that I'm really feeling now is this like, I feel like full of this energy or this emotion or like expression that I want to have. And it's like coming out in a lot of different ways. And it's exciting because I'm really trying to write and to make things about it. But it's also so confusing because it's like, I want to create stuff anyway, but every single thing that I seem to think of at the moment is just about death. Every idea that I have is something about death or grief or whatever. And you obviously know because you've written a whole novel now about that. And that's been this incredible like experience for you of being able to express yourself, but it's also fictional. And it's like, and I'm so proud of you. And I've been like amazed to watch that process. But it's just like now I'm in this really weird position where it's like, that's what I want to do too. I'm trying to write stuff about it. But it just sometimes it's like, God, it's the only thing that I can fucking think of about death. Like, is that the only thing
But
that
that
I can...
shows that you need to. You need to write it. And then I don't feel like I need to write about death now. So that shows that Sunset was enough for me.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Interestingly, though, what about your dreams? Because all of my dreams are solely about death.
No, my dreams used to be about death. Recently, they've become a little bit about relationships.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'll actually tell you one.
Okay,
I know you don't like
Go
dreams.
on, I hate dreams. And tell me a fucking dream.
Because...
I actually am more into some dreams lately because mine have got so weird. But go
Okay,
on,
nice.
tell me a dream.
You know...
Yeah, I know. I know. Little secret.
Little secret. Sorry, by the way, if my voice sounds so croaky. I've had such a croaky voice for like the last 5 weeks. I got a virus or something, not coronavirus, and it's not gone away. So maybe this is just
Nor
how
has
I'm gonna,
Alfie's.
maybe this is just how I'm gonna fucking sound for the rest
Two
of my
big
life.
drinkers of the family.
Two big foghorns of the family, you know. Anyway, I had this dream. I think because somebody I'd spoken to had been like, "Oh, you know, you're so young to be in a long-term relationship. Like, you know, your 20s is supposed to be the best time of your life." And you know, it just got me thinking, and like, I want to be in the relationship that I'm in, but I was also like, you know, oh wow, what if I had been single at this time? Anyway, so I had this dream that I kissed this boy at a party, not Horatio, just random boy. And I can't really visualize what his face was. But as I was kissing him, his mouth was like full of Pringles. And I was like, oh my God, this is the most mortifying moment of my life. He doesn't realize that his mouth is filled with Pringles. I have to keep kissing him, but I also need to find out a way to stop kissing him because his mouth is full of Pringles. And that's the whole dream.
Oh, right.
So it was just basically telling me, don't go looking out there because all of these other guys, their mouths full of fucking Pringles.
Pringles. Yeah, but Pringles isn't a bad taste to have in your mouth as you're kissing someone.
Yeah, but the thing is, Pringles dissolve so quick that it's like, that's a whole mess that I don't want to even think about.
It's disgusting.
Yeah.
That's so funny. I dreamt last night that somebody who has employed me recently was about to sign the contract for me.
Yeah.
And then...
was like, oh my God, no, she's a massive slut.
No. She then was in an accident and lost her head.
Oh.
And then I then met them. Like, everyone died, but the main person lost their head.
Yeah.
And then I had to have a meeting with them, and she was there with her head on.
Yeah.
And it didn't, and I was like, but you just lost your head. Where's your head? But I can't even see the scar. Where is it? And I think that was symbolic of my feeling that any good thing...
It's going to be taken away.
It's going to be taken away. And then if it does happen, it's not real.
You're going to question it.
Yeah.
So that's basically, that's so symbolic.
Yeah, I
That's
know.
basically you saying you create your own problems. 'Cause
Yeah.
she still had her head on,
Yeah.
but you're like, you lost your head.
Yeah. It's absolutely classic of where I'm at.
Oh, nice.
And it shows that any working thing I do right now, I just don't believe it's happening.
Yeah.
I feel like my whole career, I've been feeling like somebody's going to say, you're not qualified for this.
Totally. And the imposter syndrome is crazy. On the tube the other day, I got on and this family was sitting opposite me and I could tell that they were an American family. Because you know how American tourists just have like a certain vibe.
Yeah.
And the boy was wearing like a Grateful Dead t-shirt and then the parents and then the girl. And I noticed that the girl looked like so pale. I was like, you look like you are going to throw up. And she was really sweet, very young. And then I kind of noticed that she was looking at me a bit. And then she started whispering to her mum and she got this notebook out. And I was like, oh, wow, maybe she's one of those girls that like draws people on the train and she's going to draw me. And then I remember trying to sit, like, I was like, she's going to draw me. So, like, I should probably look quite good. But then my stop was coming up. And then suddenly she comes over to me and she whispers and she's like, are you BB Kate?
Oh.
And I was like, yeah. She was like, can I have your autograph?
Oh my
And
God.
it was so cute. And there was like one sort of a juicy length of time of one tube stop. Like enough time to have like a mini chat, but luckily not a whole chat. And I got to look very cool, like getting off the train, like getting off at the next station. So I had just enough time to be like, so where are you from? America? Oh, lovely. That sounds lovely. What's your name? Eliza? Oh, well, my name's Elizabeth originally. Oh, this is my stop. Gotta get off. Have a lovely day, guys. Love the Grateful Dead t-shirt, by the way. And then I got off the tube.
Classy.
But also during that whole interaction, I was like, this is so embarrassing. Can anybody else see this? They're like, who the fuck is this girl talking to, you know? But it was really nice. And that's happened a couple of times recently. Not always in the best. not always actually in that nice way. But it's like, I still feel like this is so embarrassing. Like I don't deserve, like, you know,
yeah, totally.
I'm a fucking failed out of work actress in some ways. That's how I feel some days. Other days I'm like, I'm this self-made creative who's like, you know, whatever. But it's just such a 50-50 how that feels sometimes, that if somebody were to come up, it really did make me feel good though.
It does. It makes you feel good when somebody just says, oh, I like that thing you were in.
Totally.
Oh, it's so nice.
She was so cute, and I'm really sorry for thinking that you were sick.
I'm going to draw BB.
Or draw me.
But I think
you were very nice.
That's how I think that's how death has kind of really had an effect on me as well with my career, because I think I probably did have more optimism about my future before Ben died. I still hate saying that sentence. I will always hate saying that sentence. But so I think in terms of opportunities that do come, but pre-Ben, I would have been like, yes, that could happen, that might happen, and that will happen. Now the opportunity comes, and I say, oh, it won't ever happen, but thanks for the opportunity.
Yeah,
I stop it before it's even.
But
started.
I think I've probably that whole attitude. Okay, that's not going to happen, but hey, thanks. That's like, there's such sort of silly, self-deprecating comedy to that. You know, I think that we've both become funnier since it happened. I think that we've all become like deeper and darker and like more fucked up, and in a way more creatively like fizzing, and yet so much more expecting that anything is going to come from that. Isn't that so ironic?
Yeah, that is really ironic.
It's like beforehand, it's like sometimes I think about myself at 20 and 21 and I'm like, God, you're a bit of a fucking drip. In our next episode, we're talking about diaries and past versions of ourselves, which links quite well to what we're talking about now. And I read this 19-year-old, 20-year-old version of myself, and I'm like, God, you're a bit of a fucking drip, aren't you?
Yeah. I sometimes do really feel sorry for people that meet me.
Really?
It's like, oh, I'm such a drag.
Or
I'm
like,
such a
God,
drag.
your expectations have been, you know, they were shattered, weren't they?
Yeah, I'm just like, I'm sorry, I'm so negative. I'm sorry, I'm so, like, I whenever anyone asks me, how are you?
You aren't going to say good.
I'm not going to say
You're
good.
not going to say good.
I'm not. So I just feel sorry for them.
Or I'm not going to say good, but if I do say good, I'm going to start crying. You know, like, I really hate it when people ask how I am, because it's like, even if I'm feeling fine, I'm like, what do you want from me?
Yeah, but it's worse when their emphasis is on the R. How are you?
Yeah.
I don't
Awful!
know. I hate that question too. And that was one of the things that in the 6 months post death was horrible. I dreaded it.
Yeah.
I dreaded it.
Ugh.
And then so the perfect etiquette with bereaved people is to say, how are you today?
Yeah.
Because then at least it encourages an honest response.
Totally.
Yeah, I also remember us very vividly saying, and that was probably in Edinburgh 2 months after, when we were doing our show all about death, which I'm so proud that we did.
Yeah. Wild.
Crazy girls with their signs. I've actually found a video of you dancing behind the backdrop that song that we used.
Ain't nothing gonna break my stride.
And it's such a nice video. And I'm so glad that I documented so much
Yeah.
because we were there, we were living, we were doing things.
God, I looked amazing that
You
year.
did.
as
We were
well.
doing keto.
Oh my God, my hair was like perfect level of ginger, hadn't become all fucked up and damaged yet. Really nice and long, trying to
Yeah.
get back to that length.
Yeah.
Love you.
We were
previous
only
version
eating
of me.
nuts,
We were only eating nuts.
bags of peanuts.
Bags of peanuts, bags and bags of KP peanuts.
Oh my God, I love peanuts. It's just such a shame. They started making peanuts in little snack size, like sachets.
Yeah.
Do you?
It's like offensive.
It's
I'm like,
offensive.
how
The amount
fucking
of
dare you?
peanuts
I
in
would have
that
like
sachet.
a bowl. I literally would have like a crate of those every
Yeah,
day.
same. So the sachets
It wasn't
are
a restrictive thing. It was fucking weird that we were only eating peanuts.
Yeah. We talk about how many calories in peanuts too much in this podcast. Anyway,
They're good calories though. They're really good for you.
they're good calories. And if you're only eating peanuts, go for it.
Go for it.
Anyway.
Gonna get that peanut glow. Sorry for
To be honest, peanuts aren't the best nut
Yeah.
for vitamins.
No, pecans, obviously.
Pecans?
Yeah, but you're not going to be able to afford to get as many pecans. Pecans are expensive.
Are they? Not if you get the bakery ones. If you go to
ones?
the bakery section, don't go to the fine nut section.
No, I'm not going to the fine nut section. Obviously, I'm getting
go
more
to what-
pecans.
you go-
but still, they're more expensive gram for gram.
No, but if you go to the cooking section,
Yeah.
where all of the cheaper nuts are,
Yeah.
get those pecans.
Get those pecans. I'm saying that they're still more expensive.
Okay,
gram
fine.
for gram.
What about walnuts? Are they expensive?
Walnuts are a little bit cheaper, I think. Pecans and macadamia, that's when you're really spending the big bucks.
Oh, why would you get a macadamia if it's not salted?
Oh, I love an unsalted macadamia. It's got such a sort of creamy sweetness to it.
Anyway,
Yeah.
in Edinburgh, I remember us saying so many times, okay, once we get to 6 months, we'll feel better. Once we get to 6 months past.
Yeah, like that was some kind of landmark.
And you get to 6 months and
It's
fuck,
always brand new.
it's brand new. It's still brand new.
Yeah. But there are so many great creators now online that we've become aware of, that we've discovered in this 3 years that have, and it is like being, it is like getting initiation into this club that obviously nobody wants to be a part
And
of.
I do feel like we get a speed entry.
Yeah.
We get a big time speed entry.
Yeah, exactly. It's like
Straight to the top of the queue.
Yeah, exactly. It's like going to Thorpe Park with one of those special tickets.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I won't say what. Exactly. And so you do see loads of inspirational quotes.
Inspirational quotes, and you see people handling it in a different way to you. Hey, something to do with death. Guess what I'm finally getting this week on Thursday?
Your pension.
My tattoo.
You're going to get your tattoo. So we made a deal after Ben died that we would get a tattoo, and our mum got Ben on her forearm.
Yeah.
And I got my son here because at the time I was doing Sunrise, my show, and I've spoken about this a lot before, but I actually went on that night to do the show and carried on with the show, and I don't know how I did that, and it was such an intense experience that I felt like I had to get something to show me of that.
To remind you that it wasn't just some horrible dream that you can't shake.
No, it wasn't that. It was to show me that pain, there was still some good created out of it, and that no matter what, the sun will come up the next day.
That's
and
nice.
it doesn't matter that that's the sun. It was
Yeah.
more of I wanted to put on my body a reminder that Donnie and Margot are still here. That at the time it was just them, and I have something to get up for, despite this tragedy.
Yeah.
So it was already micromanaging my grief.
Yeah, but that's incredible. That's incredible.
And and honestly, to this day, which is why I think tattoos are so great. To this day, I look at it every day and I'm like, right, come on.
Someone's got a lot of energy.
It's because I was taking Viagra. I haven't been taking Viagra. I don't even think that makes you feel better, but
Yeah.
what is Viagra? I'm joking, I know.
Viagra is.
No, don't worry, I know what it is.
okay.
I'll tell you about that later.
Yeah. Ooh,
Another secret.
Can't wait. So I'm getting my tattoo this week. I'm going to tell you how it's getting done.
Okay.
So when everyone in our family got them done, I wanted to get Baby. Ben used to call me Baby, and there was this nice drawing he had done of me when we were kids, and he'd written Baby in this cute little handwriting. So I was going to get that on my arm. Both times, 6 months apart, I had it printed on my arm, freaked out, ran away. Had to spend £50 deposit that I didn't get back, and really embarrassed myself as well. But it was because something didn't feel right about it. And this time, I don't have that feeling. I'm not like, oh, umming and ahhing. I've got a completely different tattoo. It's a girl I met a few years ago through a friend of mine. She's an incredible illustrator who lives in the States. Did I say illustrator? Is that a word?
Yeah, that is a word.
Oh, yeah. That is, isn't it?
I'm an illustrator.
You are.
A shit one.
And she does tattoos too. And then 2 months ago, she posted, I'm going to be in London for these 3 days. I had not even thought about my tattoo. And I said, please, can you put me in? I'm getting a tribute tattoo for my brother. I want it to be this. I won't say what it is because I want to do a surprise when I actually have it. And we did she drew a couple of versions of it. I found one that I loved and I'm getting it done.
Oh, it's so exciting.
And I'm just going to go for it.
But you
can come
need
with me if
to,
you want.
I will. You have to, when you get it done, when the pain is there, you have to just keep saying the mantra to yourself of what you want to feel every time
You see it.
you see it. You just got to keep saying the mantra.
Which is
So that it is embedded into you, so that every day when you see the tattoo, you remember to have a shower.
Nice. Nice.
You know?
I just want to see it and be like, okay, that pain that you feel, that's this peripheral thing that's like weighs you down. I want to see the tattoo and be like, that's because this thing happened, but he's still here.
Yeah.
You're still here. And it's okay to feel that pain and to also feel other things.
Yes.
That's what I want to see the tattoo and feel.
Definitely. Sorry, you keep speaking. You're being a naughty boy. Oh, naughty boy. Sorry. It's because I've run out of nappies, so I'm saving up to put him in the last nappy we have before. Obviously, we do need to buy nappies, but I couldn't go out and buy nappies.
Yeah.
So that's why he's probably
A little disgruntled.
He's fine. He should be having a sleep, shouldn't he? So, what are our final thoughts about death that we want to impart with our audience?
That's a really good idea, yeah.
What?
To do 5 final thoughts.
Final thoughts, like Jerry Springer.
Yeah.
Love Jerry Springer. I used to watch Jerry Springer. This
I
is
used to
actually
watch Jerry
related to
Springer.
death. I used to watch Jerry Springer, but I used to watch it at Grandma Leslie's, and I used to close the door so she couldn't see I was watching Jerry Springer. I must have been about 10. And she would get so angry if she knew I was watching Jerry Springer.
Why?
Because it's like rude.
Yeah, it was. It's always a bit racy as well.
Yeah. And but I just love the way he did Final Thoughts. But anyway, she's died. And that's like it's weird because I think
Our Grandma Leslie.
if Ben hadn't died, Grandma Leslie, it's just amazing. I feel like I'm more able to deal with everything now.
Yeah.
Like, and that's related to doing the show as well. When I was doing Sunrise, it was like it was a job. It's suddenly now work is work now.
Mm-hmm.
It's not how is it going to make me feel, and
Yeah.
what's it going to do for my dreams and my everything is so much more stone cold real.
Yeah.
Just get it done, go forward. Life is shit, but it can be beautiful.
Yeah.
And in terms of, our grandma dying, I feel like I was so... It's just the opposite of Ben, the old and the young. And I feel like it just kind of made everything so... I don't know, it was kind of full circle in a way.
Yeah, exactly. And, it got me thinking about, like, will you have the chance to live a really long life and achieve everything
like
that
she
you
did.
want?
Yeah.
Or, will you have a short life but still have had such an impact that it doesn't matter how much you've achieved or whatever? And it made me feel kind of okay with both of those things.
Same.
Because some people get to live a really long life and not achieve what they wanted at all.
And live a lot of life in pain.
And I want, whether I'm here for a short time or a long time, I just want to, like, be, like, surrounded by the things that I love and the people that I love and try and be a good person. And
Yes,
that's, like,
exactly.
that's so much more important to me now that everything has happened. To actually be a nice person is, like, that is something that I care about. But I am definitely not a nice person all the time.
No. But no one is.
Yeah.
No one is. And so if you even have that thought that you want to be a nice person, it shows that you are a really nice person.
I know.
So well done you.
Oh, look at me. I even donated some clothes recently. Big bags of clothes. And this guy drove past me in a car and he said, do you need clothes? My wife has lots of clothes. Are you okay? And I was like, I'm not homeless. But I was like, but hey, that's okay that you thought I was homeless. I did look like shit that day.
I saw this
Sometimes I look like
great
shit. Sometimes I do look like
Instagram reel of somebody saying, I like girls who can look homeless in the morning and something in the evening.
Yeah.
And I just thought that's
homeless
amazing.
in the morning, home wrecker in the evening.
Yeah.
That's me. Yeah.
It's so
That
funny.
is me. I'm not going to get dressed up all the time.
No.
I love a tracksuit bottom.
Yeah, same. Anyway, my final thoughts with death are it's shit
Yeah.
and there is no way around it.
Yeah.
And if you know somebody who has recently lost someone, old, young, sudden, not sudden, don't say you will get through this.
Yeah.
Because you won't.
Yeah.
You just have to keep going forward.
Yeah.
And have to keep trying to be kind.
Exactly.
And trying to do your best. And if you can't do your best for a month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, and all you can do is be living in that death, that's okay. One day you will be able to look at the sun and be happy that it's a new day and be excited about things you're going to do. But there is no way around the shit.
No, exactly. And the fact is, life doesn't change, but the person does. And like, yeah, you're going to realize when you're at the beginning, you're going to realize when you're like 3 years on or 5 years on or 10 years on that like you are the person that's had to grow and develop all of these new kind of like abilities and skills, because life still goes on and people still die every day and there's still so much like shit to go through. But you'll become a way fucking stronger person.
But also letting go of the person you were
Yeah.
when they were here.
Yeah.
So the person they knew, don't be afraid of saying goodbye to that person, because if you say goodbye to that person, that means that they're never going to meet the new you. Like, I got really upset when we moved after he died because I thought, well, he's never going to come to this flat.
Yeah.
But he will.
Yeah.
In your thoughts and your memories. And
Yeah. God, it sounded like you were crying just then,
no,
but I
it's
realised you were just swallowing
I
a
was just
burp.
burping. Yeah, just burping. It was a
you
meaningful
see?
moment to burp.
Yeah, and also sometimes it's a cry, sometimes it's a burp.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a burp, and that's okay. You don't have to cry every time you burp.
I think it's been just a huge journey for us of just like letting ourselves. I don't know what I was going to say.
Letting ourselves be silly, you know?
But that's what it was. It was letting ourselves be our true selves.
Yeah.
And I think for so long, I've been hiding that self.
Yeah.
And worrying about how I look, or
I
is this
think
the right
we've
thing
become
to
way
say?
goofier, don't you think?
Just like more us.
Yeah, I think so.
And that's his gift.
Yes, it really is, and I feel that strongly.
Yeah.
I feel
Because
like
he loved us at our silliest.
He completely did. Like, I don't think that we would be doing this
No.
if it wasn't for that.
No.
If it wasn't for him.
No.
And I know that I would still be, a lot more concerned with, like, trying to look and seem cooler and that I was, and like, you know, desperately trying to like fit into this image that I'd created for myself. That all got shattered by the death. So now it's like, oh, you're free to be whatever you want.
Yeah.
And that's like silly, goofy troll with you.
And recently something happened in my kind of work life where I felt like he was right next to me, because and right next to me saying, don't let them do this to you, or don't let them treat you like this, and you be you. And I just felt like his energy was there, and that's amazing to be lucid enough now and not so drenched in grief to be able to actually feel
Enjoy
him
that.
around.
Yeah.
Which is amazing.
Totally. So, you know, you will get through it.
No, you won't get through it.
No, I didn't mean that.
Yeah, you won't get through it.
You won't get through
learn
it,
to live
but
with
you'll
it.
learn to live with it and you'll change. Also, you'll realise that when you grieve, and when you are going through grief, that you end up saying a lot of stuff, a lot of shit. Like in a year when we do another podcast about grief, we'll be like, God, we didn't know what the fuck we were talking about.
Exactly.
But you always feel like you want to help other people going through it, and that's like a good thing, that we're empathetic.
One of the most comforting things I think about is, say, that Edinburgh in 2019 where we were so new. I still had happy days.
Yeah.
And you look back and you think, oh, that must have been the worst. Oh my God, it makes me feel sick to think of going through that time again. But you do. You do find moments of joy, even in the utter despair.
Yeah, completely. I met Horatio.
You met Horatio. Yeah, and I thought he was a creep.
Yeah.
Turns
You
out
were
he's-
like, why is he texting you all the time?
Why is he texting you at 2 a.m.? Anyway, thank you for listening. And if you want to become a Patreon, please do. It's patreon.com/Cave Sisters. And, it's just right behind us. Our lovely banner.
That our mum made.
Yeah. And
Next time you see me, I'll have a tattoo.
oh my God.
Unless I run away again.
Well, you won't.
Oh, that'd be so embarrassing because I know her this time.
And you just admitted on public.
Yeah,
that you're,
yeah. Okay, fuck, I have to do it. I have to do it. Am I going to look like a scary tattoo girl?
No. Right, thank you for listening.
I'm scared.
Goodbye.